Going back, I always remember because school years were not good for me. I just did not like school at all. So if anybody's out there and they're going to school, don't worry, you'll turn out just fine. I always remember bringing my report card home for my mother, and the first thing she would look at was my conduct. And my conduct was always good. And she said, as long as you have good conduct, I will be happy. Always good at maths, but spelling and all the other things just no good at all. And she kind of taught me the good thing about the ability to get along with people. And the number one best skill you can have is your ability to get along with other people. So I soon learnt that in a real hurry, which obviously worked very well for me because I've always been into marketing. I just love people, simple as that. And I find people fascinating. And if you just listen to them and talk to different people, you'll learn so much. So it's amazing where it takes you. I was in the part of the class which made the top half look very good. So my father was a well-respected businessman in town. My mother was a lovely, lovely lady, and they were strong churchgoers. And they had this little son, which was me, and I was a bit of a rebel because I loved motorbikes and motorcar, anything that had a motor in it. And, I'm 10, 11 years old. So my father and mother thought, we'll send him to college, give him a good education, put some class into him. So they sent me off to college, and I actually felt like I was rejected. I thought, why would my father send me away? And so we go to college, and I had the opportunity to play up a little bit and have a bit of fun, so they expelled me, which turned out to be the best thing that's ever happened to me. And my brother actually owned a toy shop, and I was working in the toy shop, and one of the best clients we had was the wife of the local car dealer in town. And when she heard that we were selling the shop, and she said, what are you going to do for work? And I said, well, I don't have anything to do. So she went home and said to her husband, you ought to employ this young kid because he's good. And so I got a job offered in selling motor cars. And I always remember my dad, actually. I walked home one day and said, Dad, I'm going to sell motor cars. And he went, oh, no. He said, you're at the second bottom of the level right now. And I thought, gee, that's no good. So anyway, however, I got into motor car sales, and I absolutely loved it because I've got a passion for motor cars. And soon worked up the ranks, become top salesman. I was top country salesman for 2 years with big organisations, and I just loved it. So good times. One of the major turning points, I'm at school, I'm in grade 7, just 11 years old, and I do not like school at all. And we had a teacher, and I'd love to give him a plug. His name was Mr. Bamford, and this was in country schoolyard. And he was quite a young teacher, and Friday afternoon he'd pull out his guitar. And it just had me in awe how this really nice guy would play guitar for us. And I just tuned right into the music. Plus that was a stage, through the 60s when all the great music was happening as well. And I just found music a terrific escapism, if you like, and just really an exciting thing. And the good news now, there's a whole lot of new stuff that's coming through, and we're starting to go back in cycles and getting some really good music again. And if you look at the music cycle, where we had terrific rock and roll and some really great stuff, then it went through the disco stage, and now you have rap and all this, but music's just an expression of people. And how good is it? I lost my mother when I was reasonably young, only about 20 years old, and she was a fabulous lady, through the cancer, which is unfortunately too much of it around. And then the love of my life, I had a wonderful lady, and I lost her through the same type of thing. And during that period, it's a tough journey. When you're going through all that, your whole world virtually turns upside down. And if you don't have something that you can escape to or something you can go through, it makes it twice as tough. And I found during that period there, I'd sit in my room and I'd really get into some music, and it takes you through any mood you're in. If you're feeling a little bit low, one of my favourite tracks was Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. I used to put that on and crank it right up, and it would just take me away from all the stuff that was happening. And that really helped me get through it. And my other passion, of course, is motorbikes. I still love riding my motorbike, and so a bit of Bruce Springsteen, a bit of rock and roll and fast cars and fast motorbikes makes you happy again. But you still have to respect that you have to go through that, and everybody has a story. So you've got to find something that you love doing. Music's my real passion. So, and that all came from a school teacher in a country room years and years and years ago.